What up, what up, what up? Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 5 of HypeBX Radio. Brand spanking new episode. And we got a special guest tonight. She's the newly crowned NABF Super Flyweight Champion. But before we get into that, we're going to talk about a little bit of news. And I also just want to shout out all the social media that I'm on. Instagram, HypeBX, and Twitter, HypeBX87. Feel free, once again, to leave any feedback you guys have about the show, anybody you guys want to see on the show, any questions, any upcoming news, anything you want. Feel free to just hit me up on there. I'm pretty active on there. I don't miss any mention. I don't miss any comments. I usually respond really quick. So feel free to. Once again, it's HypeBX on Instagram and HypeBX87 on Twitter. And I just want to share a little bit of news before we get into our special guest tonight as well. We have from Argentina a knockout championship win with Amanda Serrano. She defeated Maria Murdana, sorry for butchering that name, for the WBO lightweight title in Argentina. She is one half of the dominant Serrano sisters from New York City. So congratulations to her. They're doing big things over in the East Coast as far as their weight class and the women's division out there. So big congrats to her. And then also up north in Canada, they actually had a big all-female fight card. And the main event was Olivia Garullo. She won an 8-round unanimous decision over, I think, the talented Kalisha West. I'm pretty sure Kalisha's going to bounce back from this fight. Every fight is a learning curve, and I'm pretty sure she's going to come back even stronger, even faster than she did the last fight. So I still support her no matter what, win or loss. She's one of the best out there. If you haven't seen her fight, please go check her out. One of the fights I suggest you guys YouTube would be Kalisha West versus Ava Knight. That is, in my eyes, basically the Ali Foreman of women's boxing right now. They are two of the most competitive female boxers in their weight class. So definitely go check them out. And once again, follow me on Twitter or Instagram if you have any upcoming news or any upcoming fights you guys want me to talk about. I know that there's a big amateur tournament coming up at the end of the month, Beautiful Brawlers. It's in Northern California, and I just want to give those girls a big shout-out. It's an amateur tournament, so big prospects coming out of that tournament. Once again, it's called Beautiful Brawlers. I'm not too sure if it's streamed online or if they're going to have it on television. If they do, I will definitely release the news and tell you guys where to go check that out. So that wraps up our news segment, and right now I want to bring in the special guest. She hails from Pueblo, Colorado. She is now the NABF Super Flyweight Champion. She won it last month against Patricia Alcar in the Coachella Valley. It was an amazing fight. Both were evenly matched, and she just came out with the more powerful, more faster punches. And she's one of the most – she's a superwoman in my eyes. She's a full-time mother, boxer. She does it all. I just heard her about 8 years ago. She was actually featured on ESPN Friday Night Fights. She's basically one of the best in her weight class right now, and her name is Chante Cordova.
Yes.
Oh, hi. Okay. Sorry, I'm having a little bit of technical difficulties. My little outfit here is being a little lame right now. Chantal, once again, thanks and welcome to the show. I really appreciate you doing this interview for me. I really want to just get your name out there. You're one of the best in women's boxing, and I think you're underappreciated for who you are and what you've done for the sport. So I just want to give you a little bit more exposure and just let people know who Chantal Cordova is tonight.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on. I appreciate it.
No problem. I want to say congratulations once again for winning that title. I know it was a tough fight for you, and I knew it's been a long journey to get here to this point of your career. So I just want to say congratulations. I know you got a lot more ahead of you, but before we get into that, I want to start off with just the simple question of why boxing? Like, how did you get into the sport?
I've been boxing since I was 9, so it's been a long road. It's kind of like a family affair. My dad was a boxer, and then my brother is, and that's how I became. And so 9 years old, we started fighting, and ever since then, I became amateur for a while. Got on the USA team in 2005 and 2006. Turned pro in 2006 because there were women in the Olympics, and then had to stop for a little bit in 2008 when I gave birth to my child, and then I'm back on it, and now I've got 2 belts.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a long road, like you said, from your amateur standpoint all the way up to now. It's been a lot of ups and downs, but I think you've had a pretty dominant career so far. I mean, you only have 5 little blemishes to your career, and I don't even consider those blemishes. I consider them just learning curves. I think you've gotten better and faster as years gone by, and I think you're one of the best in your weight class.
Thank
now,
you.
No worries. Where your first professional fight? How would you consider that transition from amateur to professional? How did that feel for you?
I loved it because amateur, you have that headgear, and you don't. It's like kind of like blinders, and when you turn pro, it's like you can see everything. Like all these punches coming, head movements a lot better, and as if you feel more accurate.
Absolutely. You've had 19 professional fights, most of them wins. What has been your biggest test as far as any of those 19 professional fights that you've had so far?
Just getting the fights, honestly. You notice there's not very many women fighters out there, boxers, so it's just getting the fights. Because the training is, you work out hard. Women just work out as hard as men do, and just getting those fights is the most important part.
Yeah, absolutely, because there's not that much range as far as who you can fight. You're in the middle of the country almost.
Absolutely.
So,
right. Yeah. I know I'm in the box state. Everybody else got an advantage there on the East Coast and West Coast, but I'm making noise for being from the box state, and so it's pretty cool.
You've had the lucky opportunity to fight in your home state, but you've also done your bit of traveling. I mean, you've gone from over here to California. You've gone to even Mexico and fought the competition down there. So, I mean, I consider that a challenge as far as you're going and fighting these girls. You're not scared to go in their own territory and do what you got to do.
Absolutely.
And I got to commend you for doing that, definitely.
Thank you.
Also, I mean, you said that your family is a big boxing family. Your dad's your coach. Your brother's also professional. How does that help you in the gym? Do they push you harder? Do they spar with you? Like, what kind of experiences do you have with your family being a tight boxing, close-knit family?
My dad is definitely my trainer. He's been there since day one, as well as my mother, who is my manager. They push me every day, My dad's in the gym training just right beside me. He runs and trains with me, and we do spar once in a while. Mostly try to find people my size, my speed, try to get, that accurate down. And it's big motivation, though. My dad knows how to push me, and I'm thankful for that. Even when I don't want to work out or I'm tired, he's still right there with me, and I appreciate it. And so he knows, though, I work a full-time job. I'm a mother, and I got to make time for boxing, and that's what he does. We just accommodate each other's schedule, and we're a good team.
And it shows. It definitely shows as far as what you guys put in. It shows that you, with your dedication, I see it on social media, you're always in the gym, no matter what. You're a full-time mother. Yeah. You're a full-time mother, and you got to provide for you and your son. And I know it's hard, and basically it's an inspiration because a lot of people, especially fighters out there, I don't think they see the balance between personal life and boxing. And I think that's what kind of is an interference and a distraction in the ring. Sometimes it can from your personal life affect you inside the ring, and then you get knocked out, or it just doesn't look like?
Definitely. Boxing is definitely not just physical, but a mental. You mentally have to prepare yourself, and I agree. Family does. There's stuff outside of the ring, and sometimes it does affect the boxer's mentality inside of the ring. So.
Absolutely. I think you have somewhat of an upper advantage because you are in a state with very high mountains and very high altitude. So I think a lot of fighters out here in California, they go up to Big Bear because of that elevation and helps them prepare. And you basically have it in your surroundings. So
in my backyard,
yeah, exactly. So your endurance, your stability, I think, is an upper advantage for you, just because you're gonna last those 8 or 10 rounds. Your endurance is incredible. What other preparation do you have going into any of your fights?
What other preparations, is in cardio or?
Yeah, as far as like cardio, like how do you prepare for a fight, especially a championship fight?
I do a lot of running and bike. I'm a biker chick, so I get on the bike and just go. I just feel like the more legs that you have, the better off you're going to be especially when you take a body shot. Those are no jokes. So cardio, definitely. We have the incline right there. We have the Red Rocks amphitheater right there in Denver. Just anything I can get my hands on right here, really. And it's all this nature's course. Got to get those Colorado air in my lungs.
Exactly. And I think it's an advantage because you're fighting most of these girls who live in California or New York or Mexico, and they don't have that advantage.
All the city girls.
Exactly.
They're all city girls, yeah.
Exactly. And you're a mountain girl.
Absolutely. I'm a small town girl. That's all it is.
All right. And then also, I mean, your dad, obviously, and your brother, who also are your biggest influences in your boxing career?
My mother. She is everything. She makes, my fight bills. She gets everything that I need to get for the fight. She makes my uniforms. She helps me with my son. She is honestly a big blessing in my team. She is the go-getter, and she hustles hard for me, and, she's very well appreciated.
That's great. That's awesome. It seems like your family is just very close-knit. You guys are there for each other in and outside the ring, and I think that's what you need, definitely, that type of support and that type of love.
Definitely.
So recently, it was last month, you won the NABF Super Flyweight Championship, and then I believe last year you won another championship. How were those feelings like as far as you conquering and hitting those goals as far as winning a championship? And what other future goals do you see yourself in your boxing career?
I'll just start with the first title. When I won it, that was in Iowa, and it was a big deal for me because we were the main event, and guys were fighting under us. So to me, that was something really big, something major for my career, and just to be able to win that belt, the GBU title, it was just amazing. It was just like, finally, I'm getting to where I wanted to be, and winning a belt was definitely something that I really wanted. And it was just so rewarding. And then just July 11th, I was in Indio, California, and won the second belt for the NABF title. And it's hard to explain the emotions and the feeling that I get, because it's just so rewarding. It's like you work so hard for it, and you get it, and it's just such a blessing when you do get it, and you finally realize, like, your dreams are becoming a reality, and it's very nice, it's a blessing. Yeah. And I cannot wait for what the future has to hold. Like, I'm going to keep training hard. I'm going to keep sparring good, whoever I can get, down here in Colorado, and we can just go up from here. Like, there's there's no limit. So I'm very excited, very anxious, and I'm just very blessed at this point in my life right now, and I love it. It's an amazing feeling.
Awesome. That's awesome. I mean, I think you just started. I think previously, you were on your road. It's been a long road, but I think you're just starting. I think you're about to hit your peak. I think you're just about to dominate whoever's in your weight class. You're one of the best fighters I've seen, especially from the USA in your weight class. So I hope for many more title fights. I hope that you get to go overseas more often and experience just the world, because that's one of the big advantages of being a professional fighter. You get to travel the world and fight all these great fighters from different parts. So I hope you get that kind of exposure. I hope you get more televised fights. I hope you get pretty much everything that boxing has to offer. So that's what I hope you get out of it. Absolutely. Do you have any fights lined up coming up pretty soon?
Well, we're working for October to defend the NBF title here in Colorado, in my home state. So that'll be such an amazing deal for us. It's going to be huge.
Absolutely, because there's nothing like fighting in front of your hometown crowd. There's nothing like it.
Especially for a title. Yeah, especially for a title.
Exactly. And also, how can fans reach out to you? I know you're on social media or on Facebook. If you just want to let your fans know how they can go out and support you in any sort of fashion.
Yeah, for sure. Just get on Facebook, Chante Cordova. I got a fan page going, so just follow that page and like that page, and I post all the time, and Instagram at SugarShan5. I don't have a Twitter yet, but we're working on that. Small town girl, just remember. So
for sure. You don't got to be on everything.
For now, that's all the networking I've got going on for now.
It's okay, Chantal. I mean, you're on Facebook and Instagram, and I think 2 out of the 3 works.
Yeah, that's good enough for me too.
All right, Chantal. Well, thank you so much again for being on the show. I really do appreciate it. I'm going to continue to support you all the way in whatever you do. You're one of my favorite fighters, especially from Colorado, because I think you're the only fighter that I know from Colorado.
That's so funny. Thank you.
So I wish you the best of luck. Hopefully you get that fight next month, and I hope you capture another world title. I really do.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you having me on.
No problem, Chantal. Anytime. I hope to get you on the show one more time, especially after your fight, after you win that world title.
Yeah.
All right, Chantal. It's been a pleasure. Thanks again, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right. Hello from Colorado.
Good night. Peace out, Chantal.
All right, good night. God bless. All right. Bye.